Yeah, I appreciate that. How about we give Teddy another round of applause here, because this is a very, very awesome event that I think really needed to happen. And it's amazing to be here. I feel honored to be here. So as Teddy said, is there a clicker on there? Okay. So just press the forward button. Okay. All right, cool. So my name is Jared. I am the founder and creator of DigiByte. You store and you send data in megabytes and gigabytes. So why not store and send money in digibytes? So I'm here to tell you today why there's a very good chance in the next 12 to 24 months you'll be able to buy your morning coffee with DigiBytes. I'm also here to tell you how you can start making money with DigiByte today. There we go. Okay. So by a show of hands, how many people in here have ever tried explaining what Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is to someone who's never heard of it before? Right? It can be a little bit frustrating. You get some interesting looks. Not to mention, all the questions that people come up with. About 2 months ago, I was on a plane to Phoenix, Arizona, and I was going down there to visit a developer friend of mine to talk about, developing DigiByte and some other stuff. And when I got on the plane, I was seated next to an older lady, and about 15 minutes into the flight, she asked me, what I did, and I said, I'm a cryptocurrency developer, and that was pretty much the look on her face, right? It's pretty confusing. So after I landed, it really got me thinking, how can we take this technology and how can we take it mainstream? And since then, I've been thinking of ways to do that. So that is our mission. That's the mission of DigiByte, is to bring decentralized blockchain payment technology to the average consumer and the average merchant. And how are we planning on doing that? One of the things that I've realized, and we've tested this out in a few different ways, is when you first go to describe what this is to someone, if you just don't mention the word cryptocurrency, it seems to go so much smoother. It really does. So we like to, I myself, I served in the U.S. Army for a little while. And there's one thing I remember my drill sergeant used to teach me. It was the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Of course, he also made me do a few more push-ups and stuff, but that's a different story. So by doing that, if we make the relation, hey, this technology, it works similar to PayPal or to Western Union, but there's a lot of cool improvements. There's a lot of innovative features. So by relating it to people in ways they already understand, I feel like we can really move this to the next step. So our vision is to become a multi-billion-dollar decentralized worldwide payment network. That is our goal. That is our long-term vision. So what is DigiByte? What are the specifications? Well, first of all, there are 21 billion digibytes that will ever be created. And we arrived at that number because, if you notice, Bitcoin has 21 million. So that's a 1 to 1,000 ratio. It's easy to calculate, but more importantly, if Bitcoin can hit $1,200 or $1,000, if that ratio stays somewhat in effect, that puts us in a price target of $1 to $10. So if you go to buy your morning coffee, who wants to take their Bitcoin and send 0.000015? It's a little confusing to the average consumer. And also, I love Bitcoin. We're definitely not trying to replace it by any means. We're looking to augment it. We're looking to take that technology and use it as something that people actually spend. Because I know personally, I don't want to buy anything with my Bitcoin. I have just to start supporting the economy and getting it started, but when I know the price can increase a lot, I know a lot of people aren't excited to do that. So our goal was to have less volatility and more transactions for everyday goods and services, low ticket items. We have a 60-second block timing, so it's quicker than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's 10 minutes. Notifications occur pretty much instantaneously, so in 1 to 2 seconds. So we're also faster. We implemented a 0.5% weekly reduction, which means every 60 seconds, we started at 8,000 coins per block. I think we're around 7,800 right now. And every week, there's a 0.5% less that are being created. So at the end of the year, that's a 26% decrease in the amount of coins that are being produced. And that roughly, to the last minting of a DigiByte, we're looking at about 35 years. So what are the benefits? As I mentioned already, instant notifications. So for this technology to be used for everyday goods and services, the merchant needs to be notified within, I believe, 1 to 2 seconds. We've been looking at a few different ways to speed that up even more. There are minimal or no fees, so most of the time when you send DigiByte to DigiByte, there's no fees. So compared to merchants, Visa, MasterCard, anywhere from 3 to 5%, that's a big incentive. We're already worldwide. There are no limits other than the natural limits of the market. And it's minimal installation. There's no registration required. You go to digibyte.co and you can download the wallet. Most important thing is everyone saves time and money with this technology, and it's decentralized, so no one controls it. There is no third party. So a few quick facts. We were launched on January 12th. I myself have been involved with Bitcoin for since 2012, and since that time, I've thought of, how can we improve this? How can we actually bring this technology mainstream? So that was my initial idea and ambition for developing DigiByte. We've had over 30 million transactions already occur on the DigiByte network since January, so it's pretty cool. We've had over 200,000 Bitcoin talk views, 90,000 website views, 23,000 unique website visitors, 15. A recent audit showed there was somewhere between 20 and 30,000 addresses that had been used, but there was 15,000 current existing holders. So it is worldwide. This is a view from our analytics data. You can see there are people using DigiBytes already in almost every country, minus a few of the Central African countries. So it's been really, really humbling to work with people around the world on this technology, because I firmly believe it is here to stay. And this is the biggest change in financial technology since the Bank of England started printing paper money in 1694. I mean, people thought it was crazy to go somewhere and pay for something with a piece of paper. And I think there's a lot of similarities to be made between that point in history and what's occurring right now. So we're taking the lead, and the first way we're doing that is with a professional approach. There's a lot of meme coins, there's a lot of joke coins out there. They have their place, they have their fun. But this technology has so much potential that we felt from the get-go a professional approach was the only way to go. We have a very great team, very dedicated community, and we're looking to grow that. We invite you all, welcome you all into the DigiByte community. One of the things we did is we developed DigiShield, which is an asymmetrical approach to difficulty retargeting. And since then, because it was so effective, we helped implement it with Dogecoin, and we've talked to a few other coin devs, and since then it's been implemented in even more, I hear. We also are the first script coin to implement the 0.9 protocol. We're currently working that. Luckily, we didn't release it right away. As I'm sure some of you are aware, the open SSL issue, we're working on dealing with that right now before we release that. Going back to our initial goal of how to bring this technology mainstream, we're working on a series of guides designed for people who have no idea what cryptocurrency technology is. And we're going to be hosting those on. We've got some of them finished. We're getting ready to launch it. We're hoping to roll them out here in the next couple weeks. And once again, to make this technology as simple and as easy to understand, and to give it to people in ways that they can relate to it. We're also doing that through, we call the Digiman. He's our mascot. He looks kind of like a robot. We're going to use him for some animated videos, stuff like that, to help teach people about cryptocurrencies. Another initiative that we just started a few weeks ago, we helped kick off a fundraising campaign that someone on Twitter named Mine for Mud. And what it is to help the victims of the Washington mudslide in Darrington, Washington. So if you're looking to donate, you can donate DigiBytes, Bitcoin, and Doggycoin. There's more information on our website. So doing a little bit of philanthropy to help those people out. So what are we looking for? How do we take DigiByte to the next step? We feel it is essential for us to have an exchange for people to take DigiBytes and trade them for US dollars directly. And we're looking at doing that through creating DigiPay. And we'll do that. We've been planning it out. We've been designing it, programming it, starting it. We want to take it to the next level. But to do that, there's a lot of legal requirements and hurdles, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware of. And we're still working on that. So we are looking to partner up with people who are interested to help us take this to the next level. We're also looking to, ATMs, prepaid debit cards, any solutions that we can find that can help get and make DigiBytes easier to acquire and easier to use for merchants. So that's what we're looking for. We're also looking for developers who share our vision and anyone else who's interested and wants to contribute. So thank you. I'm in town till Monday. I would love to meet with as many people as I can to make as many connections. And I guess we have a question and answering session.
Does anybody have any questions? In the top.
You said that it takes up to 5 to 6 minutes for transactions to confirm.
Right. So what?
Is that not still quite slow?
Pardon?
Isn't that still quite slow?
Quite slow. So what our thinking on that is for the transaction to be completely confirmed occurs within 6 minutes. So after 6 blocks are discovered. The notification for the payment occurs right away in 1 to 2 seconds. So if you go in there, there's a QR code, if you would imagine on a product, like let's say a bottle of Coke or even a Starbucks coffee. There's a QR code that says, hey, this coffee is worth 5 DigiBytes. You scan it, you take out your smartphone, scan it, it instantly recognizes how much it is, hit send, and it goes through and it notifies on the merchant's computer in about 1 to 2 seconds. The first confirmation occurs in 60 seconds, and then within 6 minutes, the merchant can turn around and then go and pay their supplier, their vendor, or something like that. So that's what we meant by the 6 minutes, is you can essentially turn around and send it elsewhere. So you don't have to wait 2 to 3 days for a direct deposit or the funds you take in to be available. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. Yes, sir.
So when you talk about DigiShield, are you speaking about sort of the difficulty bomb and script, or some sort of gravity well application?
Yeah, it was developed for script. It works completely different. I mean, somewhat similar, but what we found for the difficulty retarget to work, we needed to make it and allow it to decrease faster than it increased. So if anyone's wondering what the issue was, is there's what they call multi-pools, where people, and there's nothing wrong with them, they have their place, but people get together, they go and they mine the most profitable coin, but what happens is there's such a sudden increase in the hash rate of that particular coin that not only do they instantly go to the market and sell the coin, so it lowers the price, but then the existing dedicated community members are stuck with a very high difficulty. And it's killed some coins off. It can take hours, sometimes even days with some of the first altcoins that pop up. So what we found is you want to limit how high it goes, but you want to allow it to retarget every block, so every 60 seconds with DigiByte. But more importantly, you need to give it enough room so when it comes down, when a multi-pool leaves, the difficulty will decrease fast enough to where the network still works, payments are still being made, but no one's stuck, for hours without any blocks being discovered. So we took the existing code and modified it, improved it, but the key principle was just really the asymmetrical adjustment. Every other coin allows increases in difficulty and decreases at the same rate. So, and it's not a bad thing when the difficulty is going up. The issue is when it drops. That's how a lot of things, that's like the blockchain can be stuck. So, is that an answer? Okay. Yes, sir.
So there are 2 parts to the question I have. Firstly, would the transactions be anonymous on the DigiByte platform as far as the user is concerned?
If you download the DigiByte wallet today and you don't post your address on any public websites or forums and stuff, yes, it would be anonymous. But if someone can make that link to your address, then it would be traceable. And so it's very similar to the way Bitcoin works from that aspect. Our thought is if you make it too anonymous, I think there's going to be a lot of regulatory issues that come into play later on. So the existing blockchain as it works, I think it works quite well.
Which is what I was getting to, the point around regulation, because if irreversible in the interest of fraud prevention and so on. Do you think that would hurt the model as such, or you would probably have to develop more on the existing infrastructure, and that would result in cost being passed to the end consumer? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I actually have been thinking of a lot of ideas about this. I had a discussion with a fraud prevention expert at a bank, and he brought up a lot of good points. But as he brought up these points, I thought, well, there's actually, the way the blockchain works, it would be easier to create some sort of a fraud prevention service that people could subscribe to. So the existing blockchain, as it works, I think could very easily, there's other technologies that could be adapted to make that possible. So, does that answer your question?
It does, but would that increase the cost to the end user if you kind of build other technologies on top of your existing platform? Do you think it would kind of reduce the cost incentive that is there in adopting this platform as opposed to the others that are out there?
I mean, everybody who downloads a wallet, the Bitcoin wallet or a DigiByte wallet, gets the blockchain. So anyone has access to that. I think this technology could be developed very cheaply without too much of an added cost to the added consumer.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, sir.
Another two-part question.
Okay.
You said that you had about 30 million transactions.
Yes.
How many merchants have adopted DigiByte?
Right now, I would say, yeah, it's less than 100. We really haven't made a push out into that. We launched in January, so this is one of the reasons we're here, because this is kind of the kickoff for us to go out and to start seeking merchant adoption.
Second thing is you also talked about FinCEN approval. Is that sort of underway, or do you already have FinCEN approval?
We do not have, and this is for separate. So this is for DigiPay, for the exchange. We do not have it yet. We're looking into it. We've been talking with the lawyer, researching it, doing all that angles. So, and we're also, I mean, this is where we're good at cryptocurrencies, but we're looking to partner with some investors, banking professionals who have experience with that sector of the market. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm wondering what percentage of the currency is reserved for operational expenses and founder compensation?
So what we did when we launched, we did what's known as a pre-mine. We did 0.5%. Now with that, we took half of the pre-mine, so 0.25%, and we just distributed it to roughly 5,000 people, I would say, in the first few weeks. And that's really kind of what helped kick it off and get it going. That remaining stuff is being used for development. And both of those addresses are publicly posted, and they can be accessed on the website, so you can pull up where this stuff is going.
A quarter of a percent is
Right.
for your operating expenses.
Exactly. So currently there's roughly 950 million DigiBytes in existence right now. Of that, we have roughly 30 million. So it's about 3%. By the end of this year, there's going to be roughly 4 billion in circulation. So, I mean, as far as like if anyone's worried about us having a majority stake, we definitely don't. But, you know, I myself, I've been working on this full time for 4 months now. I mean, the expenses that come to the cryptocurrency convention and stuff, et cetera, has been paid for with that, and other development expenses.
Right, yeah, I was just curious because, you know, with Bitcoin, I mean, a lot of the controversy has been about how about 100 people own about something like a quarter of the Bitcoins in existence.
Right, and that's...
So I'm more interested in currencies that are trying to avoid, getting into those kind of situations.
And that's the beautiful part about the way we did it. We did a recent audit of our blockchain, and it's pretty evenly distributed out. I mean, there's several wallets holding 10, 20 million DigiBytes right now. Several. I mean, there's probably 100 addresses with 1 million plus, and that was a few weeks ago. So, yes, sir. Last question.
So, my question is about DigiShield and that kind of innovation being applied to Dogecoin. Now, are you guys going to kind of, basically I saw on the subreddit, there was a lot of panic about multi-pools, and DigiShield was the innovation that answered, that panic, specifically with Dogecoiners. Are you guys going to continue pushing innovation and kind of working with different teams to kind of, collaborate on, these issues? Because I thought it was awesome on your guys' part. As soon as that happened, I invested, in DigiByte, and sure enough, it rose 100%, in price, and I was happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure working with the developers for Dogecoin. It was very exciting to do that, get to meet those people. We've helped a few other coins at this point. We definitely, we don't see this as a winner-take-all game. There's applications for several different things. And we are. One of the things we're working on is a multi-algorithm approach where our end goal is for everyone to be able to mine. CPU, GPU, script ASIC, SHA ASIC. We're running into some obvious technical issues there. But yeah, that's absolutely. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jared. Yeah.